Welcome to Yoga with Donna Cavanough. We're going to begin laying down and have a blanket handy. Finding your back supported on the floor and your legs bent with your feet on the floor, hip width and parallel. Finding the movement of your ribs with the breath. And every time you exhale, letting go of a little bit of tension that you might be holding. Could be simply that muscular, ready for action kind of tension. Tension from an injury. Or on any level, letting go. Good. And then as you exhale, we're going to press the lower back into the floor and inhale and lift your lower back away from the floor. Pressing your lower back. Lifting your lower back. So you find that your movement is following your breath. In and out through the nose. Feeling the action of the core body. Next time you press your lower back, hold it to the floor. So we hold the lower back against the floor. And you might notice the core body starts to hollow and broaden. But we'll keep the breath moving so you can still feel the belly moving with the breath. Beautiful. Keep your back pressing to the floor and take your legs up. And we'll take the arms up from the shoulders. So we're going to reach the tiptoes up and the fingertips up, but really press the back so you can feel the front core of the body engaged. And taking that deep breath. And we're going to take the arms a little bit to one side and the legs to the opposite side. The closer the arms and legs are together, the easier this work is. If you start to take the arms back a little from center and the legs out a little from center, it becomes more difficult for the core to hold. So you find where it feels like the right work for you, where you can keep your back pressing to the floor. And then back to center. Hug your knees into the chest and just relax your belly. Okay, we're going to take the arms and legs straight up again and really press your back so the front core is engaged, and find that distance from center, so arms overhead, feet towards the floor, that keeps your core really working. We'll keep the back pressing. Good. And this time what we're going to do is try and make a little circle with your legs, with your toes, a little circle, and then the arms are going to do a little circle as well. And we're going to press the back, try to keep the skin of the back engaged to the floor. And then the other direction with your circles. And then hugging your knees into your chest. Rocking a little bit from side to side. Good. And then we're going to come up to sitting. You can roll over to your right side. Take a seat so that your feet are out in front and hold them to your knees. So find with your front core how much you need to squeeze to really allow your back to lengthen and feel supported. Good. And see if you can do that and take your hands off your knees. And if it's too strong for your back, then keep holding your knees. Good, but we want to really use the front core of the body, feel the lift of the pelvic floor. Little preparation for boat pose. And if you feel like your back is supported enough, try taking your feet off the floor as well. You can even lift your feet up. Nice work. We're going to take a cross-legged position or legs out straight if that's better for your knees. We'll reach over to the right side, right elbow down onto the floor, and reach your left arm over your left ear, opening the left side of the body. Good. And then put both hands down onto the floor on the right there and turn to the right. Pick up your left hand and take it behind you onto the floor and turn your chest up to the ceiling. Nice work. Back up to center and over to the left side. Left elbow towards the floor. Right arm by the right ear. Finding the flow of your breath as you open the right side of the body. Beautiful. Put your right hand down onto the floor, so facing forward as well as reaching. Good. And then take the right arm up and behind you and put it onto the floor as you lift your heart towards the sky. And back to center. Nice work. Change the cross of your legs. We are going to spinal wave forward and back. So chin to the chest, and then we do top of the head forward, nose lifts, chin lifts, chest lifts. Chin to the chest, spine back. The movement can be as small or as large as your body needs. So finding your own subtle movement away from your neck to your sacrum. You follow the flow of your breath. Other direction now. Great. Take an all fours position. Have a little more distance from the hands to the knees. And we're going to continue our spinal waves, bending the elbows. Stretch your fingers out wide even spaces. And then the other direction. Lovely. Bring the knees forward so your shoulders are over your wrists and your hips are over the knees. Stretch fingers wide, press your fingerprint. Good. We're going to walk the knees together. Keep the hips level and lift your right leg. And we'll keep the right leg bent so the hips are level to the floor. Great. And then a big circle with your right knee. And we try to keep the hips level, and what you're investigating is that feeling of the smooth movement of the femur bone in the hip socket, and also where you use your gluteus muscles to lift the leg behind you. Good, and then the other direction. Try to keep an evenness to the pressure through the arms, through each fingerprint on the floor. Good, and then releasing. And we lift up the left leg. And same on the left side. Look for the left gluteus muscle, that action of lifting the leg behind. And also the feeling of the smooth movement of the femur head in the socket, other direction. Hips stay level to the floor. And we try to keep the even pressure through the arms so one arm's not folding. Okay, nice work. We're going to take forward Virasana, kneeling and leaning forward, but take your knees wider than you normally would, even wider than the edges of the mat. That's doable. So we can feel the sensation of the groin stretch and the sacrum stretch. And then lengthening the spine from the pelvis to the ribs, from the ribs to the shoulders, from the shoulders to the fingertips. Good, and then inhale and coming up onto all fours. And we're going to do pigeon pose now. Well, preparation for pigeon pose. The right knee is going to come forward to the right wrist. Now, if this is out of the question for your knee, what you're going to do instead is lay on your left side, take your right leg behind you, and try to give your quadricep a stretch by holding the right foot and squeezing it back behind you. You can just rest your head however is comfortable. Okay, otherwise we're in all fours. Right knee steps forward. And we swing the right foot towards the left hand. And we're going to ease the left leg back until the hips are level to the floor. And if your right sit bone is away from the floor, you can put your blanket fold it up and put it under your right sit bone. We're going to lift up onto finger tips and imagine you could squeeze your hands around a tennis ball and lifting your belly, lifting your breastbone, and really activate your back leg. So you're going to lift or press the top of the foot, squeeze the knee away from the floor, squeeze the buttock muscle. Good. And then we're going to take that forward. And if you're lying on your side doing the alternate stretch, you can turn over now and do the other side. People with arms forward here, keep the torso as level to the floor as you can. Good. And then walking the hands back and stepping your right knee back and left knee forward. We swing the left foot forward towards the right hand. Wiggle your right leg back till your hips are level to the floor. Good. Take a blanket under your left sit bone if necessary. Press the top of the foot, lift the knee, squeezing the right buttock, lifting the belly, lifting the breastbone. We're going to lift up onto fingertips as though they were squeezing tennis balls and press the tops of the fingers. Ooh, lifting the belly, lifting the chest, and then lengthening your torso out and over the floor. If you're lying down on your side, releasing now and come back into forward virasana. If you're taking your arms all the way out to straight, keeping the torso level. Pressing the back foot, lifting the kneecap, squeezing the buttock muscle. Good, and then releasing that side. And forward virasana. Let's take the knees a little bit wider than we normally do. So out maybe the edges of the mat or beyond. Big toes touching and lengthening the torso. Following the flow of breath. Good, and then coming up to a kneeling position, unless kneeling just is out of the question, in which case sit with your legs out in front so that your knees are comfortable. And in kneeling, you can use your blanket, you can make it a little bit higher by making it a roll, and that's going to go underneath your sit bones so that it's important you don't kneel and hurt your knees. So you need enough equipment, enough height to make it comfortable. So if that's not working, just sit with your legs out in front. We try to keep the heels in close under the hips and the legs parallel. Yes, legs are parallel and the feet are parallel. That means big toes aren't touching. That's an even stretch for the ankles. Lifting the spine. Interlock your hands. Press the palms out in front. We're going to make lots of room in the shoulders to take the arms up. When you get to that point where it just feels like everything locks up, we're going to make a shrug. So lift the shoulders and then maybe the arms even go back a little bit further. And we're going to press the index fingers up towards the ceiling. Relax the neck and throat. Good, and then release. And then the other side, changing the interlock of the fingers. Press out through the palm. So shrugging the shoulders up, making space in the shoulders as you lift your arms. Nice big stretch. Good. And then releasing. And a little bit of work on our tucking the toes under. So moving from kneeling to standing. So tuck the toes under and put your sit bones back towards your heels. So your feet are getting that nice big stretch. You can keep your hands on the floor or you can take your hands off the floor. If you're sitting with your legs out in front because kneeling is not working for your knees, then you can give your toes a stretch. Just grab hold of them and really try to curl them back towards your knee on both feet. So if you can tuck them under, the floor is an effective helper. Good. And if you're in that position where you think you could lift your knees off the floor, then try that and put them back down. And you can use your hands or you can try to balance without using your hands. Good. And then we're going to come up to standing. Oh. Standing into Tadasana with your feet under your hips. So your feet are parallel. We're going to take the right leg off the floor and you're going to take it out in front, out to the side and out behind. So you're sort of drawing a big circle with your foot around your hip. Feel the core work of the body. As you stabilize, good, and then go in the other direction. So you could draw a big circle on the floor. It's not really a circle, it's a circular shape. Good. And then the other side. So the left leg lifts. And we explore that movement everywhere that you can go with that foot. Exploring. And then the other direction. Good. Tadasana, feet parallel, hip width. So your legs are parallel and your knees are looking forward. And we're going to forward bend. Bend your knees and bring your hands onto your thighs. And we're going to stop here where we're a little way down in our forward bend. And maybe you can feel your legs stretching a little bit. But we want to bring the bones of the spine forward. Almost feeling like you're in a back bend shape for your torso. And then bringing the bones of the spine forward and reaching the torso out further and further. And we start to feel that bigger pull in the legs. But see if you can keep the back bend shape along your spine. So that we're not causing stress to the back by being in that hunched shape or rainbow shape. So keeping your back bend. Maybe your hands can go a little bit lower on your legs. And if you're stretchy, even reaching your feet or the floor, but you use your hands where they're sensible for you. Keeping the chest broad. And we're feeling the bones of the spine embedding forward. Good. And then start to investigate straightening the legs even more. And you might do that one at a time. Ooh, finding that big resistance. And then both legs together. Great. From here, we're going to bend the knees. You're going to lift your torso and bring the arms up by the ears so that you are in Utkatasana. Powerful pose. Feel the action of the core body, lifting the belly, lifting the pelvic floor, and bending your knees. And then from this posture, back into your forward bend, really keeping your back bend shape. Feeling the back of your legs straightening. Following the flow of your breath. We're not trying to rush into getting the legs straighter. Really treasuring that ability to keep the back tension-free. Good. And then from here, bend the knees. And really using the core body to lift the torso. Lift the arms up by the ears and your legs stay parallel. Lifting your heart, drawing the shoulder blades down. And one more forward bend. Bones of the spine embedding forward. And straightening your legs. It's so hot here this morning and we're going to sit back down. It's too hot to do standing poses. So let's try squatting from here and keeping the heels as close to the floor as you can and sitting. Okay. Forward bends. Cooling for hot weather. We're going to take both legs straight out in front. Paschimottanasana. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see the action of the back. Sit up onto your blanket, legs straight out in front. Just like we were doing in our forward bends. We're going to try and find, even if you're leaning back to do it, the back bend shape. So I've got my hands on the floor behind the hips to help support that shape. And then how do we take that shape forward without losing it? We have to be prepared to move the hips to let the pelvis tip forward. And if you think about that nice smooth movement of the hip, the ball of the hip joint in the hip socket, we're trying to use that smooth movement. So bringing your torso a little forward without losing the feeling of the back bend. And put your hands, you can hold your leggings near your knees or thighs. Some people can reach a bit further, or you can keep your hands behind your hips. All right, so there's a few resistors here. And of course, the big one is the hamstrings. So lift back up and let's bend the legs a little bit so that it would be the same as standing, doing your forward bend and having your knees bent. Try again with your back bend shape. So bringing the bones of the spine forward. And you might even be able to hold on to your legs somewhere or even your toes now that your legs are bent. And your ribs, you'll find, are closer to your thighs. Okay. And then let's just explore getting the legs a little bit straighter without losing the back bend shape of the spine. I'm just wiggling out one heel at a time until it just feels too strong. Take a moment, find the breath. Find your way of using this posture. And try to remember that nice smooth movement you have in your hip joint so that you can make a little bit more space there. Paschimottanasana. We're going to hold now. Bring the bones of the spine forward. Keep the chest broad. Good. And then releasing and coming up. Bend in your left leg and we're going to take Janushirasana. So if you've got a lot of movement here, try to keep a gap between your left foot and your right thigh. We're going to turn the torso to the right side in the direction of your straight leg. Bringing the spine forward. Reaching the left ribs towards the right leg. And if you found that useful to start with bent legs because the hamstrings set up an immediate resistance, then try coming up, bending your right leg, reach your torso again, focusing on keeping your back bend shape, the bones of the spine embedding forward, and then try wiggling or sliding your right leg out to straight. Notice all the space you have in the right hip, that nice smooth movement, where the big resistance happens. Beautiful. And then coming up. Take your left leg out and your right leg in. Janushirasana, so the right leg bends out to the side. I neglected to say you could put a blanket under your, or a cushion under your knee if there's any discomfort bringing the knee to the floor. All right, we're going to turn the torso to the left side. So in the direction of your straight leg, giving the ribs a nice stretch. Lovely. And then we're going to reach the torso forward. So we keep the turn of the ribs, reaching the torso forward, trying to keep your focus on the bones of the spine, pressing forward. And then we notice that big resistance in the back of the left leg. And so if you like that, it's a little yoga trick of bending in the left leg so that you can bring your ribs closer to your thigh and then work on straightening that left leg out along your mat. But we keep the bones of the spine pressing forward. And you put your arms where it supports your spaciousness in your back, in your chest. Flow of breath. Ooh, and then releasing. Janushirasana. Beautiful. Let's finish off laying down. We're going to do a bamboo pose with the legs up. So the blanket goes under your hips, and the point of the blanket is so that you can lift your legs and feel like they just balance. Again, that nice weight of the legs into the hip sockets without the back having to work to hold them there. So if you made your blanket higher, it might help to achieve that easeful balance and so your back can relax. Sometimes moving the blanket towards your tailbone more helps. And if you just can't find a position that feels good, then keep your hips on the blanket, but put your feet on the floor. But for hot weather, the inversions are, especially these supported inversions, very good for cooling the body. Bamboo pose. And to continue the botanic theme, you might like to do cactus arms. That's elbows straight out from your shoulders and the backs of the hands towards the floor with your elbows at a right angle. So I'm having trouble with my shoulders at the moment. So I'm going to keep my hands just beside my body. So you find what feels good for your shoulders. Closing your eyes and just letting yourself give in to the posture. The upside downiness of the posture. Good. And then bring the feet onto the floor and take your blanket out. Don't need that. And we're going to keep the legs bent. Pick up your left foot and you're going to hold your left toes with your right hand. Now, if you can't reach your toes there, hold your leggings or your knee or the back of your thigh. But we're going to let the left foot roll over to the right side. And you might be able to lay your knee and your foot down onto the floor. And we'll try and keep the left shoulder blade on the floor. Good. And you can try and straighten that leg. You can turn your head to look left. Good. And then releasing and using your core strength to lift the legs. Put your left foot back down. And then we lift the right leg. And seek out your right foot with your left hand. And if you're not quite reaching, then holding your leggings or holding the back of your thigh. Because we're going to roll the lower body now to the left side. And you might find that you can bring your foot and your knee onto the floor. Keep your right shoulder blade onto the floor, looking back over your right shoulder. And then you can work on straightening your right leg if that feels good. And letting go. All the tension that we hold. for all the reasons. Letting go. Good. And then releasing and using your core awareness to bring the legs back up. We're going to hug the knees into the chest and happy baby pose. So on the inside, holding on the inside of your legs, try to hold your feet or your ankles or your lower legs. And we're going to take the knees as wide as they'll go and the feet as wide as they'll go. And relax your back. Mm. Mm. Good. And then releasing. Hug your knees into your chest. You have time for your own relaxation. You could do that now. And if you need to finish your practice, we're going to roll to the right side and come up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.